And welcome to the fourth episode of the Indiana On Tap podcast. Today we're talking to you about the Indiana mobile canning industry. We're going to talk about Sun King redistributing back to the northern part of the Indiana. We're talking about Flat 12's special event fundraiser, raising money to get clean water to Flint, Michigan. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of our upcoming events. Let's dive into it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
And welcome to the third installment of the Indiana on Tap podcast. Oh, the fourth installment. Woo-hoo. Thank you, Sarah. Good job. Yeah. Oh, man. Too much beer lately.
Welcome back, Sarah.
Welcome back, Sarah.
Thank you.
So for Indiana on Tap, I'm Adam Schick.
I'm Drew Ogborn.
And then joining us again today for the second episode in a row, Indiana on Tap's brewer of business, Sarah Burns.
Hello.
What up?
What up?
If you're listening but not seeing, Drew is the odd man out today, as Sarah and I we didn't really plan this, but we are both decked out in some of our favorite Books and Brews gear.
Yeah, you're always wearing that sweatshirt to
really
rub
comfy.
it in my face that I don't have one.
My t-shirt's real comfy too.
Sarah, you're there like every day. Why
No,
don't you
I'm
just
not.
buy one?
I'm not there every day.
I'm sure they'll give you one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bottoms Up, for your wonderful system, by the way.
Yep. Bottoms Up, as always, our podcast sponsor. Drew, who are we drinking again today?
Upside Down, correct?
Upside Down Blonde. Yeah, we still haven't tapped that yet, have we? We still haven't finished it off.
Sorry, I should drink more.
No, please, you're driving me home.
Okay, you should drink more.
Upside Down
Okay.
Blonde from Flat 12.
That's the one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite woman. Yeah. So we're recording this after the fact, and Sarah mentioned it very briefly on our last podcast. But what is that? Friday, March 25th.
I don't know what day it is. I just know it's March 25th.
Okay, yeah, I think
I
that's
lose track
Friday.
of
Yeah,
days.
Friday. Yeah, that's Friday, March 25th. Yeah,
Okay.
Was Sun King Day.
Yeah, Sun King Day.
Yeah.
Happy
Sun
belated
King
Sun King Day, everybody.
Yeah. Now, what is that? Do we all go out and like sacrifice Drew to the sun god, or like
That sounds good.
that sounds-
Okay. I
Couldn't
don't have
that
anything
be
going
part
on.
of couldn't that be part of Sun King Day?
I could.
We do
well-
it. I'm going to a show that night.
Who?
Main Squeeze, duh.
Oh, yeah, we saw them.
Yeah, we did.
Holiday party.
No, you actually left after the first song, and I was like, "Hey, where are you?" And you're like, "Oh, I went home. Sorry."
No, I think that was Justin.
No, I think that was me. I definitely Irish goodbye all of you.
Did you butthole?
You're good at that. I
Yeah,
hate you.
I'm really good at Irish goodbying. So if I'm ever disappearing from a party, like, don't worry about me.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm just done with you. Yeah. All right, so back to Sun King Day. Sarah,
Yeah.
what is Sun King Day?
Yeah, so it's to celebrate Sun King redistributing to the northern area of Indiana. So actually, this will be the first time in Sun King's history that it's available all over the state. So
That's right.
pretty
So
awesome.
weren't
That's
they
cool.
already up in northern Indiana? Like, what happened there? Like,
Yeah, so because of the 30,000 barrel production cap, they had to stop distributing to part of northern Indiana. But now they're able to. So.
yeah. So it was a little bit last year leading into Winterfest. Sun King and Three Floyds kicked off like the Support Indiana Brewers campaign.
Yeah, what was that beer
Yeah.
called that they came up with together? It was a collaboration.
Was it like
Slacktivist?
Slacktivist? Yeah,
Slacktivist.
Drew,
Oh, I had
Drew
so
loved it.
much
Yeah, that beer was really, really good, coming out of cans and bombers. So Sun King and Three Floyds, the state's two biggest beers, put together this campaign because Sun King.
Campaign?
Oh,
Get it?
nice. High
I have
five
to go
it.
home. I have to go home now. No, but they put together
That's a
this
wrap, guys.
campaign because about that time last year, Sun King hit the 30,000 barrel per year cap that the state of Indiana put in place. And it weirdly affected all these laws linking distribution, self-distribution with, serving pints and having food in your tap room. It was really weird. And so because of it, Sun King had to pull all of their distribution basically out of everywhere but central Indiana and Bloomington.
Yeah.
Like that's a big hit.
A lot of tears, probably. A lot
A
of
lot
tears.
of tears. Yeah, a lot of people come to expect, anywhere they go, at least being able to find Sun King.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Any
a
part of the
staple.
Yeah.
And so they pulled it out, but then a bill pretty quickly landed on Governor Pence's desk to sort of raise that, I think, to 90,000 barrels per year. And so Sun King had been reworking with their redistribution and just announced very recently that they will be redistributing pretty much throughout all of Indiana, right? Like, yeah. And so what's going on with Sun King Day then? Is that just the official day that it's being redistributed? Is there going to be a party or something?
Yeah, they're just calling it Sun King Day. I'm not sure exactly if Sun King's doing anything official to celebrate, but
I'd be surprised if they didn't do something.
yeah, I mean they should be doing something for sure.
Rick would
Very
know.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're redistributing out through I think 24 or more northern Indiana counties and 200 different locations. So if you're living up in the Gary or LaPorte or Valparaiso or South Bend area, you'll be able to get your Sun King again soon.
Yep.
What do you think the breweries up there like Yakida, Goshen, Man Cave, AT2, do you think they're going to be cool with it? I mean, it's not going to be like infringing on their business.
I think yeah, no, it doesn't. It definitely didn't hurt them, when Sun King was up there before. It is an interesting question though, because Sun King definitely has the resources to get it everywhere.
Yeah.
And they have the resources to get shelf space. But a lot of places like 18th Street, they've got a huge market in Chicago.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, so they're going to be okay. And places like Yakida, they don't distribute, so it's not a big issue to them.
Which is a shame. God, I wish we'd get their beer down here.
Yeah,
It's real
they're Yakida up in Elkhart makes some pretty sweet beers.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I mean, and look at Indy. I mean, Sun King is in Indianapolis, and we have in Indianapolis probably like 80 or some breweries in the greater Indianapolis area. I mean, it
doesn't really it doesn't really affect much of anything. Yeah, things will just go kind of back to how they were, and Sun King and Three Floyds and Upland, the three biggest ones, and every other brewery will sort of be able to grow again, without any restrictions.
Yeah, I don't think
put
the
on them.
market's saturated yet, so we're okay. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. So yeah, so if you made it to Sun King Day, hit us up. Let us know how it was.
Please.
If you're from Northern Indiana, let us know what your favorite Sun King beer is that you're happy to see back on shelves. If I lived up there, I know I'd be happy to find Osiris just regularly again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a go-to. So yeah, March 25th was Sun King Day. Sun King back in Northern Indiana. That's big news.
Congratulations, everybody.
Woo-hoo, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. Get out of here.
Go home. Who let you in?
He's your ride, man.
Oh God. I know. Okay, so this was something we wanted to touch on in the first couple episodes, but we ran out of time. Recently on IndianaOnTap.com, our own Joel Bozeman wrote an article about the Indiana mobile canning industry.
A lot of people had something to say about it.
Yeah. So what happened? The article wasn't really it wasn't attacking or slamming or anything. It was looking more with a critical eye at the advent of mobile canning and how it's made it easier for breweries to get their product into cans. Don't touch the bottom of the magnet, Sarah.
She just touched it.
Do I need a new class?
We need a new co-host. Or a new guest host, I'm sorry.
You're fired.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got double burned. Yeah. But so
Burns double burned you.
so what happened was
Quick poll.
Sorry.
Joel sort of asked, if newer, younger breweries that are still working on, hammering out their product, making sure, that it has, a decent shelf life, really finalizing and perfecting recipes, was mobile canning and giving them the ability to get their product on shelves faster and more easily, was it really helping or hurting them? Mm-hmm. There were a lot of, he asked a lot of questions about, does a young brewery getting their name out in the market on a liquor store early, does it really help them if they're not putting, a really finished product into cans? Mm-hmm. And some people kind of took exception to it. A couple breweries up there hit us back on Twitter with, some good critiques. What are we supposed to do? We have to get out there. It's a competitive market out there. We have to get our names out there.
Which is true. It's true.
Yeah, especially up in that growing area up there where there aren't a lot of liquor stores, and shelf space is even more limited, than it is here, just because of the influx of macro beer. Mm-hmm. So it raised a lot of questions, and not ones that I think we really have answers for.
No, one of the things that I thought Joel was very correct on, he was saying, well, people will buy your beer on the shelf if they know it and like it. But like a craft beer drinker, even if you go to even the Kroger craft beer selection, there's so many options. Am I going to, if I'm only going to buy so much beer, do I go with something I have no idea about? It could be great, could be bad. Or am I going to be like, yeah, I've actually had this beer A over here. I'm going to get more of that. And I don't know. I thought it was a good point.
Well, that's why I love those sampler packs, and you go to liquor stores and you can kind of pick and choose
Yeah.
what you want. But
True.
I mean, he made a lot of good points that I didn't even think about. So, a lot of breweries when they're young, some breweries, it takes them a couple of years to kind of get the beer to where they want it to be, brewing it on a larger scale. And then when you go into an even larger scale of brewing that beer, it might not taste the same because you have to brew.
Good one.
Oh,
Thanks.
God.
Leave that in, Brad.
As a gem. So even if you are, you're brewing on an even bigger scale than that so that you can, for production, it's not going to taste the same. So it's, you're kind of gambling there on that.
Yeah, and then it's some of the questions weren't really directed at some of the more hardcore craft beer fans. It was more at the people that are starting to get into craft or may not be as informed about the industry or the breweries around them. And if they're going in and they're buying these 4 or 6 packs off the shelf and they're drinking like an unfinished product or a product that doesn't have a long shelf life, that's gonna maybe turn them away from craft beer.
Or maybe that particular brewery, they get one bad beer from a brewery they've never heard of.
And so that was Joel's
Not bad beer, but
that was Joel's
like.
ultimate question. He wasn't criticizing the mobile canning industry at all. It was more asking about just because breweries can.
Good one.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
Just because breweries can take advantage of this, should they always?
I think it comes down to the brewers themselves, because some of them, they have, we have the manpower, we have the finances, we can do this, but other ones say, let's pump the brakes. We're not there yet.
Yeah. Drew, you're not new to the craft beer experience, but newer. Yeah. So coming from your perspective, if you went in and tried a 4-pack from a brewery and it wasn't, really up to snuff, would you go back to the liquor store and maybe buy that again?
I wouldn't. See, I would hesitate.
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
I drink beer regularly, but it's not that many. So
Right.
I'm going to go something that I know, something I like, or something you give me for free out of your fridge.
Yeah. You should see my fridge.
But
It's
but I have an enabler called Adam, so I'm introduced to lots of stuff.
It's pathetic. Yeah.
But people don't have that. Like my sister,
Right.
if she had one beer that wasn't her cup of tea, she's
done forever.
Won't go back to that brewery.
You have to think about the cost involved. I mean, for some of these smaller breweries, I mean, not only do you have to make the beer, but you have to pay for pallets of cans. You have to pay for labeling. You have to pay, and there's so much cost, storage. Storage of those cans and distribution, and it's just
It's permanent. I know for a fact that permanent can be a pain.
It's insane. And a lot of breweries also don't have the science team like somebody like in Upland does. That
They have chemists on staff.
Yeah. Upland has 2 full-time chemists that test pretty much every drop of beer from the time that it is brewed to the time that it is bottled or canned, and
they can tell you what it's going to taste like based on the chemical equation on paper.
But so it is. A lot of breweries don't have those resources, so they can't test things like shelf life. Once this beer gets canned, it's going to be another few weeks before it hits the shelves. From there, it could be anywhere from a day to 2 months before somebody ever picks it up. So is your beer you got to think about things like, is your beer going to be good 3 months later out of the can?
Oh man, I was at a liquor store the other day and I saw some Cutters on the shelf. And I was like,
oh no.
Wait.
Cutters was the brewery out of Avon that closed down about this time last year. Yeah. So to find their beer on shelves now.
Yeah, I was like,
roll the
I
dice.
wonder how good that's
not
gonna
gonna
be.
not gonna name names on liquor stores,
I had
but
a Yoshi's Nectar with Adam the other day still on tap. I'm not going to say where.
Yeah.
And it was good.
yeah,
It
Yoshi's
tastes like
Nectar from
Yoshi's
Three
Nectar.
Pints who closed down a couple months ago as
We
well.
talked about
Yeah,
that
but
in
I'm
the second
so
episode.
glad
Yeah.
though that Quafon is still going to brew their beer because they
That's
had some
great.
really good stuff.
That is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to keep the craft beer community thriving in an area like Martinsville too is fantastic.
Quafon, good people. I really like everyone that I've
food,
met
too.
there.
Yeah, they're gonna be taking their pizza to the Martinsville location.
Oh, they're taking over the world, guys. Watch
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
I don't mind it.
It's Quafon's world, and we are all just
We
living
all
in
abide
it.
by it, right?
So if you have thoughts on the mobile canning industry, as a whole, whether it ultimately hurts or helps breweries. No, I think ultimately it helps. Like the more craft beer we have on shelves, I think the better.
Just know what you're doing.
Just know that there's a lot more that goes into it besides just putting your beer in a can and getting it on a shelf.
And there's a mobile bottler now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mobile Craft, real awesome dude runs that company. And so he does bombers. So a lot of people that don't want a can or bottle, like he'll go and do just bombers for them. So
that'd be kind of, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Because
awesome.
I think if I'm going to be drinking out of a bottle, like I think I'd be buying a bomber almost. Yeah.
Sure,
I can't tell you like why that is, but I think I just have this perception that things that come out of bombers are a little more like special than things that come out of like a 12-pack of bottles.
You're more likely to buy something unique, I think, in a bomber, like something you've never heard of before, rather than maybe a bottle.
And so then there's that perception where you see something in a bomber, you're like, oh, that's special.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to share a bomber with someone. Like, hey, I don't want to drink this whole thing on my own. Let's split it.
Right. Yeah, you can get almost 2 pints out of a bomber.
Kind of like what you're gonna do with me with that particular beer from Upland that you got.
No.
Yeah. That's
no. So so I recently happened to through a trade upon a bottle of Upland's Persimmon Lambic, bottled in February of 2015.
I will break into your house and steal it.
Yeah. So yeah.
You don't tell someone that you're going to break it.
The problem is Drew knows where I keep my baseball bats. So
and his log splitter.
yeah. I have this giant like rusted axe.
It's not an axe. It's a log splitter.
It's a wood splitting axe.
My
It's my home security system. Well, I'm a single dude living alone. I got to protect my stuff, you know?
What about that cat?
Both cats.
Yeah, my ferocious cats, my guard cats.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sure they'd actually just walk up asking for treats.
Rub their tail all over
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah. So go ahead and leave us a comment on the site. If you just search Indiana on Tap and mobile canning, that story is going to pop up. Take to Twitter, talk about it. It's a great discussion to have. So also sort of in the news, we're a little past it. Saturday, March 26th, Flat 12's Jeffersonville location hosted a fundraiser event to help donate clean water to Flint, Michigan.
Which is awesome they did that.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard about the crisis happening in Flint now. They've been poisoned with lead in their water for years now. Yeah, and it's a heartbreaking story. One of those things that should just never have happened. But people are trying to take action now to get Flint even just bottled water. And Flat 12 took action. They partnered with an organization whose goal is getting clean water to Flint, and held sort of a big fundraiser event, big party, raising money down at their Jeffersonville location down on the river to get clean water to Flint. And I think it's an amazing thing that they did. That a for-profit business would come together around not even their community.
Nowhere near.
A community an entire state away to help support them, help to try to lead change, provide just some semblance of quality of life to the people that really need it. And I think it's definitely something that we're starting to see more of from breweries, specifically around us. I've talked many times about how what I love about the Indiana craft beer scene is the sense of community you feel from it, and how everybody works together towards some greater goal. You can figure out for yourself whatever that may mean, but it just seems like everybody is arm in arm working towards something. And we're now starting to see breweries across Indiana that are popping up that have sort of these charitable aims of giving back to the places around them. Drew, what's one getting ready to open up here that is doing something like that?
In a couple weeks, Metazoa is opening up.
Yeah, so if you're listening after April 1st, Metazoa has opened up. What do they do? What's their thing again?
So they're big into animals. Their whole thing is, was a certain percentage of all their profits that come in go to like animal refuges. I think the Big Cat.
Yeah, the Big Cat Rescue.
Yeah.
It's to an animal sanctuary, and then they change it up every month, which is awesome.
Yeah. So you're gonna get a different beer each month. That's the proceeds of purchases of that pint or growler are to go towards some animal sanctuary, wildlife rescue around the state.
I think that's awesome to do that.
And then Sarah, there's one up in South Bend too that does something like that, right?
Yeah, South Bend Brewworks. They do a token system, so when you buy a pint, you get a token, and then you can choose. They have a bunch of cups where you can choose. You can put your token in that cup to choose which charity you want the donations to go
I've
to.
never been there.
I
I gotta get my act together.
Indiana on Tap road trip.
On the bus.
On the bus.
The Ale Force one.
That's right, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited for that bus. Wrap It Up did the wrap. It looks so awesome. And then the inside is going to be like amazing. It should be done in the next couple of weeks. But anyways, back to what you were saying about.
Yeah.
I know too, Adam, the festival that you're, working on, Rock the Junction, what charities?
Yeah, Rock the Junction, Saturday, May 14th in Westfield, Indiana. Thanks for bringing that up, Sarah. We're working, Indiana on Tap's working in partnership with Grand Junction Brewing Company, and with support of the city or the town of Westfield.
So it's not just a Grand Junction like beer event about them.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna have over 25 craft breweries that are pouring beer.
Hello.
There's gonna be a huge stage for live music.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be held at the grounds of this new park that they're gonna be developing. That's gonna be great for the community. Oh, excuse me. And then the proceeds from that are going towards two local charities. One called Indy Honor Flight that helps U.S. veterans, helps them arrange trips to fly out to Washington, D.C. and see the war memorials
Really awesome.
that were erected in honor of their service.
They just not here. My great uncle who landed on the beaches in Normandy. They just did something like that for him. Not from Westfield, but another community.
Yeah.
It's a national
So
program,
the national charity is called I think it's just called like Honor Flight.
Honor Flight.
The Indiana branch is Indy Honor Flight. It's a very, very cool, powerful organization that really strives to do just something memorable.
What's the date of that again? The Rock the Junction.
It's May 14th. The second charity is a community group. And now I can't even remember the name of it. I know I messed it up the last time, but it is a local charity that benefits sort of at-risk youth.
Isn't something Hugs?
No. It was one called I think like Open Arms Westfield.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's like Hamilton County Youth Outreach or something.
Oh, okay.
But it is a phenomenal organization working on a cause that's near and dear to my heart. Working with at-risk youth, kids that maybe come from homes where substance abuse is a problem, kids who are struggling with mental illness, helps them get the services that they need and provide a system of support so that they can, go on to do great things with their lives.
Sure.
So this craft beer festival is, it's not just one entity, coming forward for this thing. It's these 25 plus breweries. It's these food vendors. It's these bands.
Yeah, how
it's
many
these
bands
The
are gonna do that?
sponsors.
yeah, we got 3 bands. It's the sponsors from around the area that are coming forward in support of these 2 local charities.
Well, and then Wounded Warriors is the other one as well. Aren't they doing Wounded Warriors too?
No, I think it's just the 2.
Oh,
Wounded
That's
Warriors.
a different event.
Wounded Warriors was one of the ones that we discussed in the beginning, and then we sort of stuck with Indy Honor Flight just because it was a little more local.
Okay, a local. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is. It's awesome, really, to see these craft breweries find, really invest themselves in the communities around them.
We should do a story about that.
We should do a story about that.
Yeah. If you're a brewery and if you have some causes or events that you do towards a cause,
Let us know.
let us know. Shoot us an email,
We'll send
info
out
at
a
Indiana
writer.
on Tap. Yeah. We'll put a story together about that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. It's something even in the business at Indiana on Tap that we're involved in, is promoting this community of awesome people, and to see these breweries find a cause outside of themselves to promote.
Speaking of, there's not a brewery that's opening up. Adam and I recently went to a cidery. I don't know if you know this. I mean, so most people, when they think of cider, they think of Angry Orchard.
It was a quick change, Drew. I liked it.
Yeah. Like that
Nice
segue.
transition.
So they were talking about the charities they're going to be donating their money to. The
Yeah,
cidery
that's
is
right.
called Ash and Elm.
Ash and Elm. It'll be just the near east side of Indianapolis, just a few blocks past of Indiana City, right,
Yeah,
Drew?
right near there.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about them. Let's talk about our visit there.
So yeah, we went there, and that is awesome location. They spent like a year scouting out locations because
Yeah.
they knew that they wanted to make cider.
Yeah.
The guy was in the brewing industry. Well, he brewed for a while. Him and his wife both started like ciders. Excuse me. And they kind of noticed that the most ciders you really got when you went to a bar were Angry Orchard and whatnot, those kind of ones. And they're like, wait, there are so many other kinds of ciders that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
And like we can make these, and they're really, really good. Nothing,
Like what?
Well, not like anything's wrong with Angry Orchard. Like we had a champagne cider
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my
So it's this husband and wife team, Andrea and Aaron Hamoya, I believe
Yep.
is how you pronounce her last name. That Aaron spent like 12 years out on the West Coast, like learning,
The
just
San Francisco area, I think.
yeah, I think so.
He's
yeah.
an engineer. Just
Yeah, he's an engineer
Yeah,
by
someone
trade,
smarter
which
than me.
makes sense. Yeah, came back here, really fell in love with ciders. It was a new venture for him after making beer for so long. It just gave him a bit of a different challenge, and loved like the history of ciders. Like, cider, like everybody made cider like back in the day.
yeah. Didn't he say it's like the Chilean national drink for holidays? They have it on Christmas.
Yeah. Like Spanish, Hispanic companies, like they drink it like instead of champagne, like and like the founding fathers like all made cider because everybody had apples, like
apples everywhere.
and then it's just one of those things that didn't bounce back after Prohibition, and now we're starting to see a change as people who may not be craft beer or even beer fans starting to pick up things like Woodchuck or Reds, and so. There's this huge market out there for people making local ciders.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. And so, it's this cidery called Ash and Elm. It'll be on East Washington. And it's another one of those breweries, distilleries, cideries that's going to be given back to the community. They're going to be really involved with like nature preserves.
The DNR too, I think.
Yeah. The Department of Natural Resources. Working with like children's groups to get like them out into parks, which I think is a great mission. Yeah.
And side note, the building, their tasting room that they're gonna open up, the old brickwork in there, fantastic.
Yeah. It's gonna. Yeah. It's got this all natural brick. These natural brick arches. Like,
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Oh my
Are you a
God,
cider
it's
drinker?
Gorgeous.
I do like cider, yes.
Yeah. And Drew and I both never counted ourselves as cider drinkers, but yeah, on occasion. But it gives me heartburn.
Because you're an old man.
Yeah, it gives me heartburn.
Oh, wait, I'm actually older than you.
Yeah.
And I'm older than both of you.
Yeah, I'm the youngest person in this room right now. So
Children.
yeah,
No, but you guys, beer's changing the world. You know what I mean?
isn't it?
Breweries and cideries changing the world.
Just a little bit,
Doing some
each
good.
time. It's
Doing
amazing.
some good in the world.
Yeah, it is
It's
amazing.
great.
After I give them so much of my money, it's time they give back a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
So it's a good excuse, You're spending money on beer, but you're changing the world at the same time.
Exactly. As if you ever need an excuse to drink beer. Now
I
you can.
don't.
Yeah. Now you can do something that your parents would be proud of.
Not
So
my
proud.
Mom. Not my
So
mom.
proud. So proud.
So proud.
All right. So do we have any events coming up? Like, what's going on?
Well, my event's going to be happening in just a few short days. The Indiana on Tap Tasting Society, April 15th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Speakeasy in
Who's going to be there?
Yeah.
Cedar Creek, it's a winery out of Martinsville, but the husband's like, you know what? We could probably make beer here. So Adam and I went down there a couple months ago. We're like,
No, it's a father and son, right?
Father and son, but
the
his-
father runs the winery.
That's right. And his wife is somehow involved. And
Yeah.
they're awesome people. And we're like, we'll
Yeah.
try out their beer. Oh, my God.
They make an amazing porter.
It's a problem that they're not more well known. So they're going to be doing both the wine and the beer there.
Yeah.
We're also going to have Moontown Brewing, the brothers who won the Whitestown Beer Festival.
Nice.
Yeah, the Mattingly brothers.
thank
Yeah. If you're at our Whitestown Brew Fest last September and got to try out the homebrew competition, this is the team that won.
Yeah, and their beer,
Yeah.
real good.
Also, real quick, shout out to our homebrewers from the last time, the Grissom Bros, who just won some. I think their porter or their brown just won some national homebrew award. They won a bronze medal in some national competition.
Their beer
So-
was amazing.
Yeah, so
They went fast. Like
It's
that
a-
beer ran
My
out.
brother-in-law, who, is only getting samples. He probably had like 4 full pints while he that one particular beer. He fell in love
He
with.
helps.
Yeah.
It helps to know people.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
but the last one we're gonna have is Union. They do cask
Oh,
style.
love
Yeah,
Union.
Union out of Carmel,
Their
Indiana.
first cask one coming in, so it's gonna be a little different system. Sadly, we won't be able to use bottoms up for their
For them.
particular
Yeah, but
system.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
But the beer's gonna be
Yeah, Sarah, you
so
love
good.
Union. Talk a little bit like what are cask ales? Like what do they do? That's
Well, I mean, they don't carbonate the beer. It's like all natural carbonation, and so they don't use like a typical tap system. It's
Yeah.
all like a cask pull.
right.
And so, I mean, it's an IPA is not going to taste like a typical IPA that you would get from someone that like another brewery. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's
yeah.
just, it's very different, but it's very good. And if you've never been to Union, you need to go, especially with the weather nice. It's right on the Monon Trail.
I've biked past their patio. I can't tell you how many times since I moved to Indianapolis 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've never pulled in.
It's very pet friendly, and you need to go.
With cast out, can you get all the same kind of beers like lagers, wheats, porters, everything?
Yeah, you can do like anything with a cask, right?
Yeah, you can do anything with a cask. It's just going to taste slightly different.
I'm game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going to Broad Brew Pub and their ESB is all
Yeah.
cask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're gonna get like a smoother, creamier mouthfeel, which really opens up to completely different flavors in the beer, right?
Yeah.
Do they do like any special flavorings or like funny?
Yeah,
funky
they
stuff?
actually do. So a lot of times when they do special beers, so they had the Ayatollah Rock and Rolla, which is a cinnamon roll.
Oh man, that's an awesome name.
Cinnamon roll beer. They actually dump cinnamon rolls into the beer, and they have a pumpkin pie
Can you eat
beer.
cinnamon rolls afterwards?
You can dip a cinnamon roll in. They have a pumpkin pie beer where they actually put pumpkin pie in there. They did a rose petal beer with rose petals
Oh my
actually
God.
in there.
Is that a Valentine's Day thing?
No,
That
it
sounds
wasn't
beautiful.
actually. I know. They do a lot of really, because they are such a small brewery, they can do a lot of really cool, unique stuff, which
awesome.
I love. I
Yeah,
love
that's-
trying new stuff like
I think
that.
I think that's kind of where the future of brewing is going to. When
Yeah.
you see like the success of people like Deviate and
The last
Yeah.
thing about
They're
the
real
Tasting
small.
Society on April 15th is we're going to have Citizen Hatch as our food truck there.
Yes.
How good are they?
oh my god, they serve food. What I think our first one.
No, we had them at the Upland Oktoberfest.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe we had them at both. I don't remember.
No, I think we had them at one event though, but they had like
Okay.
a sweet potato and bacon hash.
That's
that-
okay. Yeah, you're like, Drew, you should eat this. I was like, it looks dumb, but I ate it, and then I went and got like 3 sandwiches.
It's a
Yeah.
good beer
Servings.
food. It's good
Great
like
beer
drinking
food.
food.
Yeah, good drinking food.
And the follow-up Tasting Society event will be June 10th. We haven't nailed down all the breweries yet, so I can't discuss those.
Oh, so Drew, who was the food vendor at our last tasting society?
Yes, baby.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
god.
If you've ever even talked about food with Drew, like,
I go to
his-
every single Friday.
yeah,
for
Drew every Friday.
for 60 of the last 63 weeks.
Yeah, it is
And
amazing.
Like
and he
any
checks in
other
on Facebook
day,
every time, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Any other day, I'm like, where are you going for lunch? He's like, Yats. I'm like, like every day is Yats
Yeah,
day
so
for
three
Drew.
of the
It's so
of the
good.
3 times I didn't go there. One was to have a meeting with her. We went to Redemption, which also has great food and great
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah,
Redemption's
their
awesome.
food is great. Yeah.
But yeah, it's oh my god, their mock shoe. Like it's gotten to the point where the staff are like, Drew, how's it going, bud?
Yeah. Drew, you missed it, but our producer Brad just gave you the fuck yeah nod.
Right? That mock shoe is life changing. The bread.
Yeah, and what's
I'm a huge fan of the like the vegetarian spinach and mushroom
oh,
etouffee.
the etouffee, yeah.
Oh my god.
I got that because of you the other day when we went
Yeah,
there.
I
was
saw
like,
that.
oh. And then Kyle, who works there, actually texts Drew about beer events and asks him if it's
He's
worth
gonna
it
be
to
at
go.
Nabru. We just confirmed it.
Nice.
Both days of Nabru.
Nice. I don't know if I can make it to Nabru this year.
You're going.
You're
There's a
dumb.
wedding.
Yeah,
What?
it's not your wedding though, because you're
There's
not
a wedding.
getting married.
Yeah. Well, if you ever meet my girlfriend Cynthia, just tell her to break up with me for like a week, and then after that she can take me
Cynthia,
back.
are you hearing this?
The only wedding you can skip this for is your sister Sarah's wedding.
Oh no, I love my sister Sarah.
Anyway, Yats.
Anyway, Yats.
If you've never been to Yats, you need to.
Yats
like,
was our
go
Yats
right
was
now.
our Yats was our food provider.
good. Get a lot of
Yats was our food provider at the last Tasting Society event. Their owners Gina and Joe Vuskovic are the most beautiful, like
Passionate people.
Did you
passionate.
know he knows the family that owns Busch, the beer company?
It wouldn't surprise
The
me.
CEO and president is like, oh yeah, we grew up together, man.
It wouldn't
They
surprise
like
me.
played polo together.
He has
like,
the coolest
he's got
story.
so many
Plays
ins.
polo.
No,
Joe, man.
Joe's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out Joe.
So yeah, if you're ever looking for a bite to eat in Indianapolis, they've got multiple locations around
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Quick and cheap and
Oh
delicious.
my god, yeah. They are
And it's
definitely
always changing. The menu's always
yeah,
changing.
definitely a staple.
If you see the
If you're
Hunter
looking for-
Stew, get it in a to-go box. I will buy it from you for $50.
I don't know if we ever mentioned what kind of food they have. Yeah, it's
Cajun
yeah,
and
it's,
Creole.
yeah, it's Cajun and Creole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for some good etouffee, some good red beans and rice,
Jambalaya.
sometimes jambalaya, gumbo, and always they have a couple vegetarian options too.
God, I'm hungry.
Yeah, yeah.
go to Yats.
There's one right down the street, right? Yeah, Brad. There's one right there.
Drew knows where every
That's right,
Yats is
yeah.
within
They're
like
opening
50
up one in
miles.
Nashville. Fun fact.
Oh,
Really?
Not
nice.
too far from Big Woods.
Nice.
So it's open by
Great
June.
news.
That's very cool.
Right before Nabru.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That's
yeah.
so great.
All right. Well, anything else, you guys?
500 is what, like 40 days away?
At the point of recording, just about. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more over our next episodes about beer you should be taking to the Indy 500.
Yeah,
so
because
look
you
forward.
got to factor in the heat, dehydration. People are going to steal
Exactly,
your beer. if it's
exactly,
really-
exactly.
Start gathering those plastic or tin growlers. Like, I have a really awesome one that
plastic growlers?
That's
keeps
right.
stuff cooled for like 16 hours in the scorching hot
Yeah,
sun.
yeah.
Imagine if Yeti made growlers.
Yeah, this year I have vowed that I will be shelling out like the $300 for like the plastic like Yeti cooler with the shoulder straps.
Oh yeah, my brother-in-law got one. My
Yeah,
sister nearly
I'm gonna be a
killed
big fan of that one. So yeah, so look forward to that in the next couple episodes. We'll also talk about bicentennial pours and pints events. We'll hit you up with some more information on Indiana's next hot model.
Anderson on tap.
Anderson on Tap will be coming up in June. We'll be happy to talk about that as well as Rock the Junction in May. So look forward to those next episodes coming up, and we look forward to talking to you soon. For Indiana on Tap, I'm Adam Schick.
I'm Drew Ogborn.
I'm Sarah Burns.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Party on.
Peace.